This is The Transition on Atlantic Television Network. Former President of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, has sympathized with victims of the ravaging floods across Nigeria and charges citizens and humanitarian agencies to demonstrate solidarity with the victims. He appealed for support for the victims in a statement posted on his verified Facebook page late Thursday. Jonathan, who visited some affected communities in Bayelsa State, including his Otueke hometown, said it was a depressing situation in many of the affected areas. He said in a statement, "I sympathize with the victims of this year's flood across many states of the Federation who have lost loved ones and properties worth millions. The worsening humanitarian crisis in the affected states calls for urgent action and collaboration by all stakeholders. I am touched by the dire situation in some of the affected states, especially my home state, Bayelsa, where almost all the local government areas are submerged in water and the east-west road section leading to the state has become impassable, creating scarcity of food and essential commodities. Today, I visited Otueke, my community, and a few other communities in Bayelsa State to have an assessment of the impacts of the flood. It is still a depressing situation in many of the affected communities because of the magnitude of the flood and the disruption and destruction it has caused. This is a moment of crisis. We need to work in unity to achieve the goal of giving hope and providing succor to all victims. I urge all citizens of goodwill and humanitarian agencies to demonstrate solidarity with these victims and provide support to those affected." The Supplementary Appropriation Bill of 21 billion naira for 2022 sent to the State House of Assembly by the Governor Biodun Oyebanji has scaled the second reading. Deputy Speaker Hakim Jamaiu, who presided at the plenary yesterday, informed the lawmakers of Governor Oyebanji's request to approve the supplementary budget. House Leader Gboyega Aribosoga, representing Ikole Constituency 1, moved a motion for the bill to be committed to the whole House, and this was seconded by Tajuddin Akingbolu, representing Ekiti West Constituency 1. The legislators unanimously agreed with the leader's submission and referred the bill to the House Committee on Finance and Appropriation to report back to the House within 1 week. Meanwhile, Governor Oyebanji has appointed Mr. Rufus Olatona as the chairman of the Internal Revenue Service. This was contained in a statement by his chief press secretary, Yinka Oyebode, who said the appointment takes effect from November 1st, 2022. Olatona is a chartered accountant and fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. He holds a higher national diploma in accountancy from the Yaba College of Technology, Lagos, and a Master's of Business Administration from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Until his appointment, he was the Group Chief Financial Officer, Lutsad Promomedia Limited, a Lagos-based company with interest in advertising and multimedia. In a special press briefing, Godwin Emefiele, the governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, informed important stakeholders and the general public of the persistent situation surrounding the management of the current series of banknotes and currency in circulation, particularly on those outside the banking system of Nigeria. He stated that the currency management is a key function of the Central Bank of Nigeria as enshrined in Section 2, Article B of the CBN Act 2007. He spoke on the integrity of a local tender and the efficiency of its supply, as well as its efficiency in the conduct of monetary policy as some of the hallmarks of a great central bank. A public affairs analyst, Ken Agala, on ATN Blowout stated that the redesigning of our currency is wrong at this time and shouldn't be our main focus or priority because we cannot finance our budget and our capital is being overthrown by subsidy.
Well, there are a lot of issues surrounding that decision by the CBN governor, and the rationale for that decision, it seems to me, hasn't been properly or persuasively communicated to Nigerians.
The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Bello, has donated 5 operational vehicles to the Federal Road Safety Corps to beef up patrol operations within the FCT and environs. CORE spokesperson BC Kazim came out with this in a statement he signed and released on behalf of the CORE. In the statement, the acting Corps Marshal of FRSC, Daoud Dabiu, commended the efforts of the FCT administration in enhancing the safety of lives and properties on all roads within the FCT. He stated the Corps will ensure that the vehicles are maximally deployed for greater productivity, enhanced traffic calming, and effective patrol operations. You are watching the transition on Atlantic Television Network. We return after this break. Welcome back. This is Atlantic Television Network Transition. Now the rest of our stories. With the 2023 general election in perspective, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it would continue to work together with the media to counter disinformation and misinformation. Chairman of the Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, stated this during the third quarterly meeting with the media at the headquarters of the Commission in Abuja. The chairman was assured that the Commission will remain transparent in the fight against fake news and provide the required information to combat the triple menace as an antidote, emphasize the need for more frequent and intense engagements ahead of the election. He revealed that 9.5 million Nigerians out of the 12.29 million who successfully completed the just concluded continuous voter registration CVR will participate in the 2023 elections. He explained that 2.78 million persons were removed as ineligible registrants following the Commission's rigorous cleanup of the data using the automated biometric identification system, bringing the number of voters in Nigeria to 96.2, having been added to the existing register of 84,004,084 voters.
Already we have achieved so much working together for electoral reform, voter education, campaign for peaceful elections, the advocacy against electoral malpractices such as vote buying, and many more. Yet a lot of work lies ahead. The media has a pivotal role to play, and we appeal to you for your continuous support. As the 2023 general election approaches, we shall continue to work together to counter disinformation and misinformation. We will remain transparent and provide the required information to combat the triple menace of misinformation, disinformation, and fake news. And the Commission does not support censorship. We believe that the best antidote to fake news is greater openness and greater transparency.
The introduction of technology.
The national president of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, Chris Isigozu, who was represented by Tunde Bamidele, commended the Commission for the introduction of technology into the electoral process. He said by this, INEC is giving the people the opportunity to choose their leaders.
The introduction of technology in the process of the conduct of election in Nigeria had equally shown that INEC had given the people the right to choose their leaders. The leadership recruitment process in Nigeria, with INEC under your watch and leadership, we can say authoritatively that it is now for the people to choose their leaders. You've done your own part in the leadership recruitment process, and this you've done so well. INEC has done so well when it comes to the issue of giving it back to the people to choose their leaders. This we are proud of, And we call on Nigerians to use this opportunity or to seize this opportunity to protect our democracy and to protect their own interests. You've pushed the buck back to them, and it is now for the people to take advantage of what you've done for them. The enactment of the Electoral Act 2022 is in the best interest of Nigeria and the best interest of Nigerians. And we appeal to the political actors to play the game according to the rules, and they should equally take a critical look at Section 92 sub 2, which is talking about the temperate language. The language being used these days by our political actors is not temperate. And if you are talking about leading the people or leading Nigerians, the interest of the people surpasses the corporate existence of this country, surpasses the interest of an individual.
Ada Ona-Ifowodo reports that INEC has held similar meetings with other stakeholders in the electoral process, including security agencies as well as civil society organizations across the country, updating them of the level of preparation by INEC for the forthcoming elections. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission's investigating officer, Shehu Shuaibu, on Thursday told the Federal High Court in Lagos that the 4.6 billion naira allegedly transferred into a joint trust account was used to finance the 2015 presidential campaign of former President Goodluck Jonathan. Shuaibu stated this while testifying before Justice Daniel Osiago in the trial of former Minister of Finance, Senator Nenadi Usman, former Minister of Aviation, Femi Fani Kayode, and two others over alleged money laundering and other fraud-related offenses. During cross-examination by Usman's counsel, Mr. Ferdinand Orbi SAN, he said his team from the Special Task Force of the EFCC did not invite former President Jonathan throughout their investigations because the ex-president was not the one that expended the money. The witness admitted that the first defendant, Usman, was the Director of Finance for President Jonathan's campaign organization, while the second defendant, Fani Kayode, was the Director of Media and Publicity of the organization. On those that transferred money into the joint trust account, he said, "To the best of my knowledge, I do not know whether those that transferred money into the joint trust account were charged in court or not. I am not a lawyer and would not know why they have not been charged before the court." And now to some business reports. Elon Musk took control of Twitter and fired its top executives late Thursday in a deal that puts one of the leading platforms for global discourse in the hands of the world's richest man. Following the takeover, Musk tweeted that the bird is freed, referencing the company's iconic avian logo, and wasted no time sacking Chief Executive Parag Agrawal, as well as the company's Chief Financial Officer and its Head of Safety. Agrawal previously went to court to hold the Tesla chief to terms of a deal he had tried to escape. The takeover came hours before the court-appointed deadline for Musk to seal his on-again, off-again deal to purchase the social media network. Musk tweeted earlier in the day that he was buying Twitter because it is important to the future of civilization to have a common digital town square where a wide range of beliefs can be debated in a healthy manner. Twitter did not immediately reply to a request to comment on the departure of its top executives, but the platform's co-founder, B. Stone, thanked the trio, Agrawal, Ned Segal, and Vijaya Gad, for their collective contribution to Twitter, saying massive talents, all, and beautiful humans each. You are watching the news on Atlantic Television Network. Still ahead, international tidbits. United Kingdom's General Medical Council has licensed fresh 91 Nigerian trained doctors. The accreditation of the doctors occurred over 15 days between October 10 and October 25, 2022, bringing the total number of Nigerian trained doctors in the UK now to 10,387. There are 5,210 associate specialists, 2,318 doctors in training, 1,837 general practitioners, and 1,273 specialists among the 10,387 doctors. The accreditation of the 91 doctors came amidst cries by the Nigerian Medical Association against the brain drain bedeviling the health sector in Nigeria. Apart from doctors, other categories of health workers are also migrating. Between January 1st, 2022 and September 30th, 2022, about 1,307 Nigerian trained doctors were licensed in the UK as Nigeria continues to battle one of the worst situations of brain drain in its history. Nigerian doctors who got medical qualifications in schools outside the country are, however, not included in the data. The Medical Association in the country, while lamenting the high rate of medical brain drain, said Nigeria may import doctors in the future. Nigeria currently has the third highest number of foreign doctors working in the UK after India and Pakistan. And now entertainment and sports. With the 2023 presidential election in perspective, several music, movie, and comedy stars are working to ensure that their preferred presidential candidates clinch the top position in the country, though some of the top stars seem to be sitting on the fence. Celebrities who decided to show interest in the forthcoming presidential election are either supporting the All Progressives Congress flag bearer, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, or the candidates of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. Some of the celebrities were conspicuously seen during recent rallies for Obi and Tinubu in Lagos State. Despite a warning issued on September 24th by the leadership of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, AGN, declaring that its members endorsing political candidates are not representing the interests of the organization, many actors have continued to sell their candidates. Nollywood actors John Ikechukwu Okafor, popularly known as Mr. Ibu, Harry B. Anyanwu, and others had prior to primary elections endorsed the former Lagos State governor. A video on social media showed the duo openly drumming support for Tinubu, saying he has really impacted on people and deserves to be president of the country. Comic actor Ibu was, however, cited with Peter Obi during a rally in Jos, Plateau State a few months ago, also drumming support for the former Anambra governor. Several performing artists, including Zach Oji, Jide Kosoko, Gentle Jack, and about 21 other actors, were listed in the 422-member Presidential Campaign Council of the ruling party. Similarly, veteran Nollywood actor Kanayo O. Kanayo, Kenneth Okonkwo, amongst other top celebrities have declared their support for the Labour Party's candidates Peter Obi. Peter and Paul Okoye of the P-Square and other music stars have openly declared support for Obi as they continue to mobilize support for him. And now on sports. Nigerians under-23 team will host Tanzania in the second leg of the Toto Africa Under-23 Cup of the Nations qualification match at the Lekan Salami Stadium in Ibadan tomorrow. The Olympic Eagles were held to a 1-1 draw by Tanzania in the first leg at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Dar es Salaam last weekend, and the winner on aggregates will proceed to the next round of the Africa Under-23 Cup of Nations qualifying campaign. The Under-23 Cup of Nations, to be held in Morocco in November 2023, will determine Africa's flag bearers at the men's football tournament of the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. While Tanzania has never participated in the African Under-23 Cup of Nations since its inception in 2011, Nigeria has played in all three previous editions of the tournament and even won the tournament in 2015, defeating Algeria 2-1 to be crowned champions in Senegal. Nigeria was drawn by for the first qualification round, while their second round opponents began the journey against South Sudan in September. In the first qualifying round game, Tanzania were held to a goalless draw against the South Sudanese in the first leg, followed by a 3-3 second leg result in South Sudan to progress on away goals. And that's the size of the package. Thanks for joining us. I am Anita Obari. You can follow us on our social media platforms, Twitter at Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram at Atlantic TV Network. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress.